Our universe, no doubt, is a black hole of an enigma, unanswered questions, and an unknown cosmic phenomenon. What mankind has discovered till now can be taken with a grain of salt in comparison to what is lurking out there in the dark. What began from Galileo's discovery through a simple telescope has now progressed into a modernized, complex, and unstoppable study and discovery of space. But, even with all this progression and evolution, mankind has only discovered about 4% of the universe. All of the stars, planets, galaxies out there that we have discovered and studies are just from the 4% of the universe that is visible to us. Who knows what could be lurking out there in the other dark and invisible part of our universe? If you are a curious cat and a space enthusiast looking for answers as to what is out there, then you are just at the right place, because today we are going to be looking into one of the greatest and perplexing mysteries of space, the Great Attractor. So, if you're curious to know about it, then stay tuned to the end to unfold everything about this baffling conundrum that has scientists and researchers studying it frantically. But before we begin, make sure you have subscribed to the channel and press the bell icon for notifications of new uploads so that you don't miss out on our videos. So what exactly is the Great Attractor? As the name suggests, it's an anomaly that, attracts. Quite simple, right? Not as simple as it seems. Just like every other space mystery, it is bound with complexities. It is also the evident central gravitational point of the Lanica Supercluster, a galactic space cluster, the home to our galaxy and other 100,000 galaxies nearby. So basically, the Great Attractor is known to attract stars, galaxies, and moon towards it, and it's surrounded by a region of clusters of galaxies. Now, the next question that comes here: how was the Great Attractor discovered in the first place? Through earlier studies and observation, it's a very well-known and basic fact that our galaxy is continuously traveling and moving at a whopping 1.3 million miles per hour. Whoa! Now, with this much pace, there's no doubt that it will come across some of the anomalies that are present out there in the universe, and one of them is the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is believed to attract the galaxy and thousands of other galaxies towards it. It has been doing this for billions of years as of now, unbeknownst to us. No wonder why we love space, full of mysteries and fascinating cosmos. Anyways, let's move forward. So, the idea that there's a force out there that attracts galaxies towards it was already well present in the minds of researchers. But back then, with limited resources and little insight, they could not pinpoint what the force was. Eventually, this phenomenon was discovered when scientists in the 1970s made a detailed map of the cosmic microwave background, light that is left behind by the universe early. While studying and observing the map, these scientists noted that on one side of the Milky Way, there was 1/100th of a degree of Fahrenheit difference in the temperature. So that means one side of the Milky Way was slightly warmer than the other side. This discovery insinuated that the Milky Way might be moving at 370 miles per second. Now, another question that comes forward is that why is the Great Attractor such a big mystery? In today's day and age, with all the resources and progressions, why haven't we figured it out totally? Well, folks, the main reason for this is the zone of avoidance, ZOA. Zone of avoidance, or zone of galactic obscuration, ZGO, is the part of the sky that is concealed and obscured by the Milky Way itself. Dang! The problem is that the Great Attractor lies in the direction of constellation Centaurus, a well-known and recognized constellation or recognizable pattern of stars that is present out there in the southern sky. I'm pretty sure you have heard about it. After all, it's one of the largest constellations. Okay, so as I said before, the Great Attractor lies in the direction of the Centaurus, and oh, what bad luck! The disk our galaxy cuts right in, veiling the view. You see, our galaxy is not just full of stars, planets, and moons, but it also contains a lot of dust and gaseous matter as well. So, all of this dust, gaseous matter, and the clusters of stars conceal about 20% of our view of the extragalactic sky at a visible wavelength, or spectrum, and unfortunately, the Great Attractor lies just behind this zone, making it difficult to get a proper view or any proper idea of it. So close, yet so far. As mentioned before, any visible light cannot be passed through the zone of avoidance because it absorbs the visible light. But the X-ray has beat the dust and gaseous matter to it. Since X-ray light cannot be blocked by dust and gas, astronomers were able to get a glimpse of what is there. Upon the discovery, astronomers came across the Norma Supercluster, a rich cluster of galaxies that is present at the center of the Great Attractor, that has a mass of about 1,000 trillion suns. Pretty crazy, I know. I guess now you have somewhat a clear picture of the Great Attractor. To clear it further, let's zoom out, and not just slightly, but on a larger scale. Let's look at the basics first. Milky Way galaxy is not the only galaxy. As we know, there's another galaxy out there. 2.5 million light years away from us, there's our neighboring galaxy. Zoom out a bit more and we come across the Triangulum galaxy. Zoom out a bit more and we come across a few more galaxies and cosmos, and voila, you're now looking at the local group. Now zoom out a bit more and we stumble upon another clump, the Virgo cluster, a cluster of more than 13,000 galaxies that is not so far from us, just some 65 million light years away. Now, as we venture out farther, we come across several clusters and superclusters, like the Virgo supercluster, Hydra Centaurus supercluster, and the Shapley supercluster. Keep in mind that these clusters and superclusters are not just blobs of numerous galaxies, but a proper flow of galaxies that flow towards a common center. All of these ginormous clusters and superclusters, including our galaxy, are moving towards the Great Attractor. This explains and proves the fact that the Great Attractor is the point, a place in the universe rather than a thing, like a black hole. Speaking of black holes, there is common speculation that surrounds the Great Attractor. This theory by some astronomers states that the Great Attractor is similar to a black hole that will eventually destroy our galaxy. They believe that this accumulation of superclusters and numerous galaxies towards a common point and clumping into greater superclusters might be how the universe meets its demise as part of the Big Crunch, which is theorized to be followed by another Big Bang. Well, there is another group of scientists that believe the Great Attractor is not that much of a threat, but a common point where all the galaxies and clusters will destroy us. Whether it's a danger or not is another mystery as of now. Hopefully, with time, technology, and further evolution, we will be able to know the true nature of this Great Attractor. Even if it is a threat, we don't need to worry about it, as the Great Attractor is about 250 million to 400 million light years away, so it will approximately take about 13 billion years before our galaxy witnesses the event horizon. A lot of time here, you see, so no need to fret about it. And one last thing, we might never reach the Great Attractor. The dark and broody matter that lies in the 96% obscure part of the universe will rip apart the Norma cluster away, separating not all the clusters, but the superclusters. This means we have nothing to fear. You can now sleep at night with peace. Yay! There you have it, folks. This is all that is known about the perplexing mystery, the Great Attractor, as of now. Researchers and scientists are working and studying it day and night to know it more. In just a few years, we will be able to get a proper glimpse of it if we get past the zone of avoidance, which I'm sure we will. Until then, stay tuned with us to find out about space phenomenon and wonders.